There came a moment in my life when I realized I wasn't living, I was just existing. Every morning I woke up, but I wasn't awake. My days were full, yet my life was empty. I was busy, but I wasn't productive. Surrounded by noise, yet I was going nowhere. Then one day I asked myself a question that changed my destiny. What if my problem isn't a lack of opportunity, but a lack of focus? That day I stopped blaming life, and I started managing my time like my life depended on it. Because it did. Time is the currency of life. Time is the currency of life. It's the invisible resource that everyone possesses, yet few truly value. You can lose money and earn it again. You can lose opportunities and create new ones, but when time is gone, it's gone forever. You can't buy it back, you can't negotiate for it, and you can't borrow it from tomorrow. That realization hit me one morning as I stared at the clock, realizing how many days I had spent being busy, but not productive. I was active, but not advancing. I was moving, but not meaningfully. And that is one of the greatest illusions of life. Thinking motion equals progress. When I finally understood that time is life in motion, everything changed. You see, every hour you waste is a portion of your destiny slipping quietly through your fingers. Most people don't lose their dreams overnight. They lose them gradually, one wasted hour at a time. Every time you scroll mindlessly on your phone, argue over things that don't matter, or postpone your purpose until next week, you're not just wasting time, you're surrendering pieces of your future. Think about it. If someone robbed you of your wallet, you'd be furious. But when life robs you of your time, you shrug it off as if it were nothing. You don't realize that the thief isn't always external. Sometimes the thief lives in your habits, your procrastination, and your excuses. Time thieves don't break into your home. They break into your routine. They disguise themselves as comfort, entertainment, and taking a break. But before you know it, hours have vanished and dreams have expired. I remember a season when I'd wake up late, check my phone before I even brushed my teeth, scroll for 45 minutes, and then rush through the rest of the day wondering why I always felt behind. I thought I had a motivation problem. What I really had was a time management problem. My mornings were unguarded, and whatever controls your morning controls your day. Whatever controls your day eventually controls your destiny. That's why powerful people protect their time like treasure. They understand that time is the container that holds their purpose. If you truly want to change your life, start by studying your hours. Track where they go, because time is the mirror that reveals your priorities. You can say you want success, but if your schedule doesn't reflect it, you're only wishing, not working. The truth hurts, but it also heals. When I began to treat my time as sacred, my life started to shift. I made appointments with my goals and refused to cancel them. I learned to say no without feeling guilty. I stopped spending my energy on people and places that didn't align with my purpose. And something powerful happened. I started to gain clarity. Time brings clarity. When you use your hours with intention, your vision sharpens, your decisions strengthen, and your peace deepens. Let me tell you something real. The reason some people never reach their potential is because they invest their time in survival instead of strategy. They're constantly reacting to life instead of designing it. They live in crisis mode, putting out fires instead of building their future. But when you start valuing time, you stop living by accident and start living by design. Think about the farmer. He doesn't plant his seeds whenever he feels like it. He understands the value of seasons. He knows that what he does with his time in planting season determines what he will harvest later. If he wastes that window, no amount of prayer or hope can bring back that lost season. Life works the same way. If you waste the season of preparation, you'll struggle in the season of opportunity. There's a quote I live by: you don't find time for what's important. You make time. The difference between people who succeed and those who don't is not talent, it's time management. Successful people don't have more hours in a day. They just use theirs differently. While others are scrolling, they're studying. While others are complaining, they're creating. While others are talking, they're transforming. Every minute of your life is a seed. What you plant in that minute determines what you'll harvest in your future. Spend your minutes with purpose, and your future will reward you with greatness. Waste them on distractions, and your future will pay you back in regret. I've seen both sides. I've experienced the emptiness of wasted days and the power of structured time. The difference between the two is night and day, chaos versus clarity, confusion versus confidence. Your time is your responsibility. No one will manage it for you. The world will always try to fill your calendar with what matters to them. It's your job to fill it with what matters to you. Guard it. Protect it. Climate time is not a toy, it's a tool. Use it to build your future, not to entertain your boredom. And remember this, every great change begins with one decision: to stop wasting time and start valuing it. When you value time, you automatically begin to value yourself. Because how you treat your time reveals how you see your worth. If you waste your time, you're telling life you don't value your own potential. But when you master your time, you're declaring to the world, my life matters, my mission matters, and my moments matter. Every day you wake up, life hands you 24 golden hours. How you spend them decides who you become. Time is not waiting for you. It's moving with or without you. The question is, will you move with it or watch it pass by? Focus creates power. Focus creates power. Focus is the invisible force that separates those who dream from those who achieve. It is the difference between a scattered life and a sharp one, between potential and performance. When you are focused, you become like a laser, cutting through confusion, distractions, and noise. But when your focus is scattered, your power is diluted. You can't hit a target you can't see, and you can't achieve a goal you can't stay committed to. Most people fail, not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because their attention is divided between too many things that don't matter. There was a time in my life when I was doing everything and getting nowhere. I said yes to every request, every invitation, every opportunity that came my way. I thought activity meant advancement. I was always busy, yet I was stuck in the same place. I realized I wasn't productive. I was just distracted. One day I sat down and looked at my to-do list, and it hit me like a lightning bolt. I was doing a lot, but achieving little. My time was being consumed by things that had no real impact on my purpose. That's when I made a decision that transformed my life. I chose to focus. Focus is not about doing more. It's about doing less with greater intensity. When you learn to focus, you start filtering. You begin to say no to good things so you can say yes to the right things. People might not understand you at first. They'll call you distant, unavailable, or even selfish. But what they don't realize is that you're building power. Every time you focus, you're collecting energy. Every distraction you eliminate adds another degree of strength to your purpose. Look around you. The most successful people in any field have one thing in common. They are obsessively focused. They don't chase everything, they chase one thing until it becomes extraordinary. The athlete who dominates his sport doesn't train for everything, he trains for his lane. The artist who creates timeless work doesn't follow every trend, he follows his vision. The entrepreneur who builds an empire doesn't say yes to every idea, he masters one and builds it to excellence. Focus transforms average into exceptional. Distraction, on the other hand, is the silent killer of destiny. It doesn't destroy you instantly, it drains you gradually. Every time you check your phone while working, every time you entertain gossip, every time you switch tasks before finishing one, you lose momentum. You break your rhythm. And once you lose rhythm, you lose power. Imagine trying to start a fire while blowing on it and then walking away every 2 minutes. It will never burn strong. That's how most people treat their goals. They start with passion, get distracted halfway, and then wonder why they never see results. When I began mastering focus, I saw changes I couldn't believe. My mind became quieter. My goals became clearer. I stopped caring about what everyone else was doing and concentrated on what I was born to do. There's something liberating about focus. It frees you from comparison. You stop measuring your progress by someone else's timeline. You realize your journey is unique and your pace is personal. Focus creates peace, and peace produces power. I remember deleting half the apps on my phone and limiting my social media use. At first, it felt uncomfortable. I felt like I was missing out. But then something beautiful happened. I started hearing my own thoughts again. My creativity returned. My energy increased. I realized how much mental clutter I had been carrying. When your mind is crowded, your vision becomes cloudy. Focus clears the fog. It helps you see what truly matters. You cannot build greatness in a distracted state. A distracted mind produces a distracted life. That's why most people live in cycles of starting and stopping, excitement and exhaustion. They keep planting new seeds but never stay long enough to water them. Focus is what separates a seed from a tree. When you stay committed long enough, the results begin to multiply. Focus also gives you authority over your emotions. You stop reacting to everything that comes your way. You stop getting offended by small things or discouraged by temporary setbacks. You begin to operate from intention, not impulse. Focused people don't waste energy fighting every battle. They choose their wars wisely. They understand that not every invitation requires attendance, not every argument deserves a response, and not every opportunity is meant for them. One of the greatest gifts focus gives you is clarity about people. When you become focused, you quickly learn who belongs in your life and who doesn't. Some people thrive on your distraction. They love when you're off track because it keeps you on their level. But when you start focusing, you'll notice distance. Don't take it personally. Focus exposes relationships that were built on convenience instead of purpose. Focus also demands sacrifice. You can't be focused and comfortable at the same time. There will be moments when you feel isolated because focus requires solitude. You'll spend nights working when others are sleeping. You'll invest in learning when others are wasting time. But remember this, while they're enjoying the moment, you're building the future. And one day, the results of your focus will speak louder than the opinions of your critics. Every great vision demands focus. Focus gives power to purpose, precision to effort, and progress to dreams. Without it, even the most talented people become mediocre. With it, even the simplest idea becomes unstoppable. There is no greatness without focus, because focus turns energy into achievement. When I learned to focus, I stopped chasing everything shiny. I stopped multitasking my destiny. I learned that I don't have to do it all. I just have to do what matters most, and do it well. Focus taught me that being busy isn't the goal. Being effective is. Focus is not a gift, it's a decision. And when you make that decision daily, you build power, clarity, and momentum that no distraction can destroy. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. Everyone wants success, but few are willing to pay the price of discipline. Dreams are beautiful, but they are powerless without structure. You can write your vision, declare it, even post it on your wall, but if you lack the discipline to act consistently, that vision will remain a wish. Discipline is what transforms an idea into impact. It's the invisible muscle that holds your destiny together when motivation fades. Because motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going when the excitement dies. There was a time in my life when I had dreams so big they scared me. I wrote them in journals, I prayed over them, I visualized them every night. But year after year, nothing changed. I blamed circumstances, I blamed timing, I blamed people. One day I looked in the mirror and realized it wasn't life holding me back. It was me. I had potential but no discipline. I had vision but no structure. I was emotionally driven, not intentionally directed. I was waiting to feel ready, but discipline taught me that readiness is a myth. You don't wait to feel ready, you decide to move. Discipline means doing what must be done even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early when your body screams for more sleep. It's choosing the gym when the couch feels softer. It's saying no to short-term pleasure to build long-term power. Discipline whispers when motivation is silent. It doesn't ask for permission from your emotions. It takes command. Every person you admire, every leader, every creator, every high achiever you look up to, they all share one thing: discipline. They've learned to master themselves before mastering the world. Think about the athlete who trains before sunrise. They don't always feel excited. They don't wake up every day pumped with energy, but they have a vision that demands sacrifice. Their discipline allows them to do today what others postpone for tomorrow. That's the secret. While others wait for the right moment, the discipline create it. Discipline is not punishment, it's alignment. It's saying to your body, your mind, and your emotions, we are moving in this direction, no matter how we feel. Without discipline, your life becomes a collection of good intentions that never manifest. You can have all the talent in the world, but without consistency, talent is wasted potential. The world is full of gifted people who never finish what they start because they lack the stamina that discipline provides. There's a difference between wanting change and working for it. Wanting is emotional, but working is disciplined. Everyone wants to be successful until they realize success requires repetitive effort. Discipline isn't glamorous, it's quiet. It's in the small, unseen moments that build the foundation of greatness. The world might not clap for your early mornings or your late nights, but those moments are where champions are made. I remember forcing myself to write even when inspiration was dry. At first, every word felt forced, every sentence like pulling teeth. But I stayed consistent, and one day I looked back and realized I had created something powerful. That's what discipline does. It compounds. Small efforts repeated daily grow into massive transformation. People often ask, how did you do it? The answer isn't magic, it's management. It's the discipline of doing the right thing repeatedly until it becomes natural. Discipline also reveals your priorities. What you consistently make time for is what you truly value. You can say you want to change, but your habits reveal your truth. Discipline forces you to confront your excuses. It asks, do you want comfort or progress? Because you can't have both. Comfort will always whisper, just one more minute, just one more break. But discipline answers back, not today. The disciplined mind doesn't wait for ideal conditions. It builds progress in imperfect moments. There's a powerful peace that comes with discipline. You stop living in guilt and start living in control. You stop promising yourself next week and start moving now. Discipline silences the chaos inside. It gives you authority over procrastination, laziness, and fear. It's like a compass that keeps you steady when life tries to pull you in every direction. Discipline doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you're persistent. You don't quit because it's hard. You continue because it's necessary. Think about the student who studies every night while their friends party. At first, they're called boring. Years later, they're called successful. That's the reward of discipline. It may cost you popularity now, but it pays you with power later. The disciplined life looks boring to those who live without purpose because they can't see the harvest being built in silence. You can't fake discipline. It shows in your results. Discipline trains your emotions to serve your vision. Without it, your emotions will sabotage your progress. One day you'll feel inspired, and the next you'll feel defeated. If you follow those feelings, you'll live in cycles. But when you're disciplined, feelings become secondary to purpose. You learn to act not from mood, but from mission. Discipline teaches you to manage time, energy, and attention with precision. You stop wasting time chasing motivation and start creating systems that guarantee progress. Most people quit not because they lack ability, but because they lack consistency. The disciplined don't rely on inspiration, they rely on structure. They know that success isn't found in what you do occasionally, it's in what you do continually. Every act of discipline builds a wall, and eventually, that wall becomes your fortress of strength. Discipline is the great equalizer. You might not be the smartest, the fastest, or the most talented, but if you are disciplined, you will surpass those who rely on talent alone. It gives you an unfair advantage because most people can't stay committed long enough to see results. Discipline doesn't require perfection. It requires persistence. Every small act compounds until one day you wake up and realize you've crossed the bridge between what you dreamed of and what you live in. Focus turns potential into impact. Everybody has potential, but not everyone fulfills it. Potential is like a seed. It holds power, promise, and greatness inside, but without focus, it never grows. Focus is what gives shape to potential. It's what turns invisible capacity into visible results. You can be gifted, talented, creative, and full of big dreams. But if you're easily distracted, your potential will remain locked inside you. I learned this the hard way. There was a time when I knew I had something special, but I was scattering my energy everywhere. I wanted to do everything, impress everyone, and be everywhere at once. And guess what? I ended up tired, empty, and confused. My life was full of activity but lacking impact. I was busy but not effective. It wasn't until I started focusing on one thing that my potential began to take form. I realized that potential without focus is like sunlight without direction. It shines everywhere but burns nowhere. When you put that same light through a magnifying glass, it becomes powerful enough to start a fire. That's what focus does. It takes the scattered parts of your life and channels them into one clear direction until they create power. Many people have the energy but lack the discipline to direct it. They start projects and abandon them halfway. They chase opportunities without mastering any. They mistake movement for progress. But focus teaches you that success is not about how many things you do. It's about how well you do the right thing. I once met a young man who wanted to start a business, learn photography, write a book, and become a motivational speaker, all at the same time. He had passion but no focus. 6 months later, he had started everything but finished nothing. He wasn't lazy, he was distracted. That's the danger of potential without focus. It makes you feel productive while you're actually standing still. Focus demands that you stop trying to be everything and start mastering something. The world doesn't reward confusion, it rewards clarity. When you are focused, you start to see the power of alignment. Your thoughts, your actions, your time, and your habits begin to move in one direction. That's when life starts to make sense. You stop fighting yourself. You stop being torn between who you are and who you're trying to be. Focus unites your potential. It brings all your strengths under one mission. It's not about doing less, it's about being more intentional with what you do. Focus also separates you from the crowd. People who lack focus follow trends, but people with focus create them. When you're focused, you don't have time to chase every shiny distraction. You become centered, grounded, and confident in your lane. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. You know what belongs to you, and you protect it. The more I focused on my assignment, the more my potential began to reveal itself. I started seeing opportunities that I used to overlook. My creativity grew, my confidence increased. That's the miracle of focus. It multiplies what you already have. Every great achievement in history was born from focused potential. The airplane, the light bulb, the internet, all of it came from people who locked their attention on a single vision until the world caught up with their dedication. Greatness isn't magic, it's magnified focus. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary isn't talent, it's concentration. People lose power because they spread themselves too thin. They try to do too much, please too many, and end up mastering nothing. Focus also gives birth to consistency. When you're focused, you no longer wake up wondering what to do. You know your assignment. You move with purpose. You act with clarity. Focus removes the noise. It silences the opinions of others and strengthens your inner voice. You begin to realize that your potential isn't measured by what people think of you, but by what you can produce when you give your best to one cause. There's something powerful that happens when a person becomes focused. They become unstoppable. You might not have all the answers, but your commitment keeps pulling you forward. You stop waiting for motivation and start relying on momentum. Every small victory adds up. Every little improvement compounds. Focus doesn't guarantee speed, but it guarantees direction. And direction is far more important than pace. What's the point of moving fast if you're going the wrong way? Focus keeps you aligned with purpose. In daily life, you see this everywhere. A student who decides to focus on their studies instead of distractions graduates with excellence. An athlete who focuses on practice instead of fame becomes a legend. A business person who focuses on solving one problem well ends up changing an entire industry. Focus turns potential into progress, and progress turns into impact. You don't have to be the most talented person in the room. You just have to be the most focused. Focus is also what transforms pain into power. When life gets difficult, most people scatter. They lose sight of what they were fighting for, but focused people take pain and redirect it into purpose. They don't ask, why is this happening to me? They ask, how can this shape me? Focused potential knows how to turn adversity into advantage. Every struggle becomes fuel. Every obstacle becomes instruction. Because when your eyes are fixed on the goal, even your setbacks become setups. The truth is, focus is a daily decision. You have to choose it again and again. The world will keep throwing distractions at you: noise, opinions, comparison, comfort. But you must guard your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Your potential is waiting for you to take it seriously. The moment you lock your focus, your potential begins to unfold in ways you never imagined. People will start noticing a difference in your energy. Doors will open. Your results will multiply. That's the hidden power of focus. It reveals the giant that's been sleeping inside you all along. There comes a moment in every person's life when you look around and realize that everything you've been waiting for, every dream, every opportunity, every breakthrough has been waiting on you, waiting for you to take control of your time, to master your focus, to discipline your actions, and to direct your potential. Because the truth is, your life doesn't change when the world changes. It changes when you do. You are not waiting for a sign. You are the sign. You are not waiting for permission. You are the permission. Every single day you wake up with breath in your lungs. That's life's way of saying, you still have time to become everything you were created to be. You see, transformation doesn't happen in one big leap. It happens in small, consistent steps that no one applauds, no one notices, and no one praises until one day, the world can't ignore you anymore. That's what happens when a person refuses to waste another hour, another opportunity, another ounce of potential. You stop living as a spectator and start living as a participant in your own destiny. You stop asking, what if, and start declaring, this is it. There was a time I kept saying, one day I'll change, and life kept answering back, then today is not that day. I learned something powerful. Someday is not on the calendar. You only have 2 days that matter. The day you're born and the day you realize why. When that awareness hits you, you stop sleeping on your purpose. You stop letting fear, comfort, or doubt steal your hours. You stop being casual with time because you understand that every second is sacred. You begin to walk with purpose, speak with authority, and live with focus. When you master time, focus, and discipline, life stops feeling random. You start noticing patterns, how consistent effort builds unstoppable momentum. You realize that the pain you resisted was actually the pressure shaping your greatness. You begin to see that discipline isn't a restriction, it's freedom. Focus isn't a limitation, it's liberation. Time management isn't about controlling the clock, it's about commanding your future and your potential. It's not lost, it's just waiting for you to get serious. The world doesn't reward intentions, it rewards execution. The graveyard is full of unfulfilled dreams, unwritten books, and unspoken ideas, all buried with people who waited for the right time. But let me tell you this, the right time is now. The right time to take control of your life, to silence the distractions, to wake up early, to plan your days, to protect your peace, and to build your vision brick by brick. Because there's something inside you that the world desperately needs, but it can only come out through focus, through discipline, through deliberate use of your time. Don't let your potential die as potential. Don't live your life in almost successful, almost consistent, almost ready. You are not called to live in almost. You are called to live in accomplished. You are called to wake up and say, this is my season, this is my time, and I will not waste another second doubting what I already carry. The fire inside you is greater than the fear around you. The dream in you is louder than the distractions before you. And the purpose over you is stronger than the problems against you. When life gets tough, remember this: pressure doesn't destroy diamonds. It reveals them. The same is true for you. Every challenge is not designed to break you. It's designed to focus you. Every delay is not denial. It's development. Every rejection is not a failure. It's redirection. Nothing you've lost compares to what's waiting for you when you decide to live intentionally. So stop running from your process and start trusting it. Greatness is not built in comfort. It's forged in commitment. You don't have to be perfect to start. You just have to start. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to move in faith, with focus, with discipline, and with a sense of urgency. Because time will not wait for you to decide who you want to be. The clock is ticking, the world is watching, and destiny is calling. Every minute you waste is a part of your miracle you delay. But every minute you master is a step closer to the life you were meant to live. This is your defining moment, the moment you stop talking about what you'll do someday and start doing it now. The moment you stop apologizing for dreaming big. The moment you silence every voice that says, you can't, and respond with, watch me. You've survived enough storms to prove you're built for success. Now it's time to rise, to focus, to discipline yourself, and to manage your moments with purpose. Because when you do, the world will not just see what you've accomplished. They'll witness what happens when a human being decides to take control of their time, master their focus, discipline their mind, and unleash their full potential.